Shalom, Israel. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BASHAM, Rakah, Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders who teach and rule well at Great Millstone, and peace and salutations and peace and mercy to the prophets, the hopeful elect, the 144,000, and to the men and women of the 12 lost tribes of Israel, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Shalom. Back with another lesson. I'll title this one, How Long Will the House of Israel Provoke the Lord? How long will they provoke Yahawah BASHAM YAHAWAHSHI? And this is this I'm double backing off this lesson that one of the brothers did, and it Seers of Israel. The Ak makes beautiful lessons. I think it's Seers of Israel, Ba or Da. Salaki if I get it wrong, Ak. But you know, he made a lesson yesterday, and you know, in the clip it showed, you know, out there in that Buffalo dealing with them Jakes getting gunned down by that Edomite. And I think it was IUIC out there, and they were at the scene, and they were, you know, they were they were letting Israel know. They was letting Jake know, you know, doing all the wickedness and trying to go hand in hand with you know, with Esau, and they hate you. And then one of the Judite women, it looked like, and she was, you know, IUIC was out there talking, you know, preaching the word, and she was, you know, telling the police they gotta go. You know, you gotta get them out of here. We don't want to hear that garbage that was that happened 1,300 years ago. And see, and this is why, and this is the main problem. That's what you so-called Negro, Latina, and Native American women, is your mouth. You love Esau. You love Esau, and the men too, but Eve got it. Eve has it extremely bad. But she was out there screaming at the top of her lungs, you know, we don't want to hear that garbage. And that's what Jake do. 2/3 of Jake, they despise this word. They despise the Lord. It tell you that, you know, what is that? Numbers, I think. You know, the Lord killed 14,000 people in the wilderness with that Moses and Aaron, because they you know, the Lord did all those miracles, all those signs, and they still mocked and went against the Lord, and he killed 14,000. You know, he killed more than that, but 14, you know, one time he killed 14,000. We've never witnessed to see, you know, 14,000 people die at one time. You know, the Lord is going to send heavy, he's sending heavy judgment, man. Because Israel just don't want to hearken. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you don't believe this word. And the men of the Lord are out here opening the Bible and reading it to you. And 2/3 of Jake will go to every other book, and try to and believe every word out of that book, how to start your own business, you know, uh, playing, trying to make it in the acting, they'll believe every single word out of that book, even that, a lot of, a lot of people, there's nothing wrong with reading books. There's nothing wrong. But Jake will go to even Sun Tzu and the 48 powers of what's that? 48 laws of power or whatever these books and people Jake pulls from that. But they don't want to go to the scriptures. They'll go to every other single book. So the Lord has to do away with you, because the judgment that he's bringing is so severe, and it's almost, I mean, it's almost here. With the famine, they just declared yesterday, here in California, that it's the worst drought in history. California they've never had a drought like this. I went to the store yesterday to go get some milk, and it was, I mean, the whole milk section is empty. I went back yesterday. They had about 10 gallons. That's it. I've been noticing stores, the CVS store. There's a couple CVS stores, where I live, and one of them is shut down, completely empty, finished. Then the one I go to in now, the drink section in the refrigerator, where their drinks are, is empty. It's been empty for like 2 weeks. You might have some, beer and some other stuff in there, but outside of that is empty, completely empty. Your little snacks and sandwiches and stuff that they keep in there for people want to go grab a quick lunch. It's empty. It's been empty for like 2 weeks. Nothing in there. I go into the grocery store. I'm starting to notice old, old produce. Oh, I seen the lady. She grabbed a thing of strawberries, and I went over there to try to get me some strawberries, and they look rotten. The apples. I'm starting to notice. They're putting old stuff up there. Just anything. This famine is for 2/3 of you, Jake. It's some serious judgment coming, because you know Jake don't want to listen. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you just don't want to listen. You despise this word. So we're gonna go to Psalm. We're gonna go to Psalm. We're gonna go to Psalm 147 and 19 and it reads, He showeth his word unto Jacob. He showeth his word unto Jacob. And who is Jacob? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Jacob had 12 sons. That makes up the 12 lost tribes of Israel. His statutes and his judgments unto Israel. See, the Lord makes this clear on who he's dealing with. 20. he hath not dealt so with any nation. The Lord's not dealing with any other nations. There's 19 nations on this planet. There's 19 nations on this planet. He's dealing with one nation, and that is Israel. And who is Israel? Who is Jerusalem? It is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. That is Israel. That's the real 12 lost tribes of Israel. And you can see, looking around the globe, those Israel's not the real Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You're oppressed. You're in captivity. You Native Americans, you living out there on those reservations. You got to constantly deal with Esau coming and stealing your property, or doing some type of wicked, evil plot against you and your land. You're out there in the middle of nowhere. Some of these places, very little water, off drugs. You Native American Indians, the Lord has the curses. They follow you wherever you go. He told you. You Latinos and Negroes, the majority you here in the Americas, the Babylon, you're put in the vadios, the ghettos. The Lord has cursed. He has cursed Israel, but he hasn't turned away his face, because he made a covenant with our forefathers. See, but he has not dealt so with any nation. Them other nations got it coming. For what they've done to Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahawah. You see? So let's go over to Deuteronomy. Let's go to Deuteronomy. He's dealing with Israel. He's not dealing with nobody else. And Israel's going to rule in the kingdom. He's not dealing with nobody else. He's not dealing with these Chinamans, the Moabites, Esau, Edom, these so-called Caucasian white people. He's not dealing with Japhetic, the Samoans. He's not dealing with Elam, you Arabics. He's not dealing with none of those nations. He's dealing with Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. And yes, Israel he said he was going to scatter Israel amongst all to all four corners of the earth. So you do have Israelites in those nations. You have Israelites that look like the white people. You have Israelites that look like the Chinamans. You have Israelites that look like the Samoans. That's mixed, scattered abroad. That they're Israelites. The Lord said, my heritage is of a speckled bird. And this is through the Spirit. The Spirit. This isn't according to color. Okay? This isn't according to color. This is according to spirit. It's spiritual. And if you can receive this word and understand, then you could be an Israelite. Looking like the other nations, looking like a Chinaman, or looking like a Elamite, Arabic. You see? Deuteronomy 7:6. It says, and it reads, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You see, the Lord said he hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Makes that completely clear. 7, the Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. And see, Israel is like I said, is scattered through all nations, looking like the other nations. 8, but because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which the Lord had sworn unto your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob. He swore to our forefathers. Hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, out of bondage, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And see, he did that before in the first Egypt, because Egypt is bondage. That's what that means. And this is the second Egypt, because he told you in Deuteronomy 28, they would come back into Egypt the second time on slave ships. And it's just the evidence is overwhelming on who was brought over here on slave ships, removed from far from their borders. You go over from the land of Israel to Africa, and you go from there all the way to the Americas. That's on the other side of the world, completely side of the world. They still have the evidence over there in the south of, the South Carolinas, and what is all on that coast, the Atlantic over there, the Atlantic slave trade. Those were Israelites that came over here, even all the way down to the South Americas. The Lord said, he just told you, the Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. And then you wonder why Jake is extremely talented. Because we're a special people unto the Lord. But we're also cursed because our forefathers didn't listen. We have a heavy influence around the globe. All the nations watch Jake, mainly you Negroes. But all the nations watch Jake. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. We have different attributes. It'll tell you that in Genesis, the 49th chapter. Quote me if I'm wrong. The different attributes, the things that Jake brings to the table. You Colombians and Seminole Indians, and you Mexicans, and Cubans, and the list goes on, man. It's a special, the Puerto Ricans, Ephraim. We're the salt of the earth. The dancing, the food, the culture. It's because the Lord told you we're a special people unto him. Jake has flavor. 9. Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, that the faithful Holy Mashiach, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. And you see, he told you to them that that love him and keep his commandments. And that's what love is. Love is keeping the commandments of the Lord. That's love. That's the definition of love, of keeping God's commandments. There's no feeling or, it's keeping the Lord's commandments. And if you love YAHAWAHSHI, you're gonna keep his commandments and do thus said the Lord. But all of Israel ain't gonna do that. They don't love the Lord. They don't want to hear this word. Like I just said, that lady, saying we don't want to hear that garbage from 1,300 years ago. And I've even had friends and family tell me, I don't want to, some of my friends and family tell me, get away from me with that stuff. I don't want to hear that. But they claim that they believe in the Lord and they want to seek the Lord and that they're, doing thus said the Lord, but they're not doing what he is saying. And then you don't want to hear his words. You only want to hear, just work hard, the prosperity. The Lord's going to give you some money. You're blessed. You got a big home, a great job. You're able to travel. You got a great business. That's they claim that's blessing. That's good. Yeah, but that's not a blessing. Is rulership. That's a blessing. Rulership, power. Esau has that. They have the blessing right now. Just like how you seen with that Queen Elizabeth. They are blessed right now because they're in rulership. They got their families. I was watching that thing the other day. And you see in the background, and all their families sitting together. Queen Elizabeth and her sons, and her families, and nieces and nephews have their children. All sitting down and hugging and kissing and listening to the music. You look at their establishment, their real estate. It's beyond measure. You got everybody saluting them everywhere they walked. That's a blessing. But Jake, slaves, their whole life and end up, they may buy a home, for $100,000, a 4-bedroom, and got, few nice cars and custom made on the cars and got a little money put up, kids going to college, and they feel that they're blessed, but you're still a slave. You don't have rulership. That Queen Elizabeth and them, their children and the Rothschilds and the other elites, their children will never have to work. They don't do nothing. J kids got you got to take orders. But love is keeping the commandments of the Lord. But he promised a covenant with our forefathers from generation to generation. So let's go to we're gonna go to Psalm. We're gonna go to Psalm. See, he made a covenant with us. But Jake, but what does Jake do? Jake don't want to hearken, man. Jake don't want to listen. So let's go to Psalm 81 and 11, and it reads, "But my people would not hearken to my voice." And what's his voice? It's starting with the elders and apostles and the prophets at Great Millstone on down, and even the other tribes or other camps and, men that are, warning the people that they're Israel, and to listen and do thus said the Lord. That's the voice of the Lord. But my people would not hearken to my voice, and Israel would none of me. They just won't listen. Israel will not listen. So we're going to go to Isaiah 46 and 3. Isaiah 46 and 3. It says, hearken unto me, O house of Jacob. Listen. Listen, Jake. Hearken unto me, O house of Jacob, and all the remnant of the house of Israel, which are born of me from the belly, which are carried from the womb. 4. And even to your old age, I am he. Even to your old age, I am he. And even to your gray hairs, even to hoar hairs, your gray hairs, will I carry you. I have made and I will bear. Even I will carry and deliver you. The Lord is telling you, I'm going to deliver you, Jake, even to your old age, to you going. I am he. I am YAHAWAHSHI. But you know what? The Lord is saying, hearken unto me, Jake. Listen. You see? Listen. Listen. So let's go over to we're gonna go to Numbers. And what is that? What was that? Numbers. Was it 18? Oh no. Salakia. Dang, let me see something real quick. It was Numbers. Tell me if I'm wrong. I think it was Numbers. Salakia, Akim. And what is that? Number 7. I can't find that. I'm not gonna. Okay, Numbers 14. We're gonna go to Numbers 14 and 35. Or no, Salakia. Numbers 14 and 11, and it reads, and this is the Lord talking to Moses in the wilderness when he brought our forefathers from the first Egypt. And and Jake was mocking the Lord. He did all those signs and wonders and brought them out of slavery and trying to give them our own land. And they continue to mock him. And what did the Lord say? And the Lord said unto Moses, how long will this people provoke me? How long? How long are you going to provoke me, Israel? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, how long are you going to continue to do this, to mock the Lord and to continue to go against his men and continue to be disobedient? How long will this people provoke me? How long will it be ere they believe me for all the signs which I have showed among them? See, and the Lord, the Lord did all type of signs and wonders, man. He took care of it. He took care of Israel. He took care of Israel. But the Lord said, He took care of Israel. But he said, what do they do? He said, how long will they provoke me? How long? So we're going to go to 2 Chronicles. We're going to 2 Chronicles 36 and 16. And it reads, but they mock the messengers of God and despise his words. And that's what they do. They're mocking the words of the Lord. But they mock the messengers of YAHAWAHSHI and despised his word. They don't want to hear this word. And misused his prophets until the wrath of YAHAWAHSHI arose against his people, till there was no remedy. The Lord is bringing so much terror to Jake, man. He's bringing so much terror to Jake. We're going to go back to Numbers. And what did he say? Numbers 14 and 35. They mock the messengers of the Lord. And this is what they continue to do. Numbers 14:35. And it reads, I, the Lord, have said, I will surely do it unto all this evil congregation. He said he's surely going to do it. This happened before, and it's going to happen again. That are gathered together against me. See, when you don't want to hear this word, you're against the Lord. You're against him. In this wilderness, they shall be consumed, and there they shall die. And that's the same thing over here. You know, this isn't our land. This is not Jake's land. Israel is our land. Jerusalem, the Holy Land. That's the land the Lord promised our forefathers and to us. The Lord's going to destroy this place, America, man. The Lord's going to this place is never going to be inhabited ever again. It's going to be a big giant wilderness, just desert full of wild creatures here. He's going to burn. There will be no trees. It ain't going to be nothing here, man. Nothing. Just a big dirt road. Nothing. So let's go to Zechariah 13 and 8. This is why you got to come out of America, man. But, you know, Jake wants to continue to stay here. So we're going to Zechariah 13:8, and it reads, and it shall come to pass that in all the land saith the Lord, YAHAWAHSHI, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. But this third shall be left therein. You see? So the Lord's bringing 2/3 of Jake. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you 2/3 Jakes are going to be cut off and died. Those that didn't come back to this word and don't want to seek him and believe that you're a Hebrew Israelite and believe that you're a child of the Lord, you're of Israel. You know, and you want to go 1 foot in the world and 1 foot in the Bible and try to mix it together. It's not going to work in this time that's coming. Why is it not going to work? Why isn't this going to work? Because the Lord's bringing evil upon you that you can escape. That's what he said. So we're going to I'm going to close out with this, with Jeremiah 30 and 7. And it reads, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. There is a time coming that has never been seen on this planet. Never, ever. You know, we just seen over there, they said yesterday, those explosions over there in Ukraine. And this nuclear war is being ramped up. It's being ramped up. Israel is over there getting ready. You know, all these different armies of these nations, this military, they're getting ready. And these missiles are going to be shot off. And they're coming here. They're coming to America. These missiles from China and Russia. The threats, the rumors of war. They're coming. They're coming. This time that's coming is death coming. It's nothing but death. It's just gonna get worse. We seen yesterday out there in Philadelphia, the more mass shootings, though, it's gonna increase the shootings, the explosions. No food. The lawlessness. The love of many is going to wax worse. It's gonna get cold out here. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. And who is Jacob? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. That's Jacob. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. And Jacob's trouble is for Jacob. You can't escape the time that's coming from the Lord. There's just nowhere to hide. You can't hide nowhere. You have natural disasters that's going to come. The Lord's going to make this unescapable. This is for Jacob. The other nations are going to get it. They got it coming. But 2/3, starting at the house of Israel, of Jerusalem, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, judgment is starting at the Lord's sanctuary, at his house. He's going to clean house. And that's what he's doing right now. To those Jakes that don't want to get in order, the Lord's he's going to kill you. If you have a family, he's going to kill you and your family. That's why you see the children over there, the northern tribe, the Latino tribe, you see the Negro tribes. The Lord's killing them. He's killing them. He's taking you out violently and horribly because you will not seek him. But it's the killing is going to get worse. It's going to get really bad, really, really bad. This Jacob's trouble is going to be serious. All hell is going to break loose on you tribes. But what did he say? In 2/3, what did he say? And he shall be saved out of it. And who is he? It is the elect of Israel, the elect of Jake, that is going to be saved and protected in this time of chaos that's coming. And you can see it. For a person that can't see it, good luck. Because in a minute it's gonna be unignorable of the level of violence that's coming to these cities near you in America. The level of violence. And you're gonna cry to the Lord, and the Lord's not gonna hear you, Jake, because you didn't listen. You waited too late. So the time is coming. How long are you going to continue to provoke the Lord? Israel? But, Spirit hopped on me. I seen that, and I wanted to go in on that. So hopefully you were edified. I don't want to come back with another lesson, but I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BASHAM, Rakah, Quadash, Shalom, Israel.